ended up raising a decent amount of money, and
we're able to grow.
I've never shared before. I've never talked about it.
Come on down to fucking Friday and keep it a buck.
I ain't never talked about it. Let's talk about it.
The first initial to create the gathering spot in Atlanta.
The first round was $3 million. So we've raised over $20 million. And the reason why I've never talked about it out loud is not because I'm ashamed of it.
Right.
Honestly, like, most businesses don't raise any money.
Right.
But I didn't talk about it because for me, there were other stats that were more important. And we employ 200 people in our community and have really high quality jobs. Like, the business has been profitable since inception. We've never lost money, ever. And like, I wanted to talk about those things because I think a lot of times, people get lost in the headlines and they want to talk about, all these kind of vanity numbers. I wanted to talk about, to me, what were the numbers that showed like that the business was real. So like, we're profitable. Right. To me, was more important than being like, I just raised another $5 million. Like, it didn't feel right.
Have you and TK ever talked about taking this company public?
Yeah, we look, we're not playing small with this thing at all. Like, this is about trying to get to real scale. I think a lot of times, the conversation in business is like, oh, we should just be happy to just have a business, just to exist. With respect, like, that's not where I am with this anymore. Like,
Do you plan on selling it?
No, I'll like not in that way, right? Like,
in what way though?
Let's take it public. Right. Let's take it to the moon. Because
I'll say this, right? So a lot of people, and I got a quote. I'm in logistics right now, right? As a broker, right? Have visions to become a freight forwarder one day with me and my partner.
Stop.
I got a quote that I said to him on the board. I say, you have to feed people only what they're capable of digesting.
Yeah.
Right? So when I tell you that, I ask you that because a lot of people, the people that I come in contact with aren't used to the model of business. The companies that I've invested in, there's quite a few, right? I've got a return on my investment in Gathering Spot. I got a return on my investment in other companies. So you looking at this hair, you looking at this outfit, you looking at all this distracting shit, thinking that I'm not a businessman. How foolish could you be? But other comrades or other entities that I've invested in, their plan is to sell.
Yeah.
We're trying to create enough capital to make a push to sell it.
Yeah.
And then we're going to start something else.
Yep.
But clearly here.
So like, so we're doing a couple of things right now. So we're working with Greenwood, right? We're in the fintech space now, brought the companies together. But
and I'm gonna talk about that too.
If you look at black-owned businesses, right? Far too many I saw a stat that's like 96% of our businesses don't ever gross $1 million top line. And so again, this isn't about shaming people, it's about just understanding the consequences of what happens when our businesses don't scale. That means you can't hire people. If you can't hire people, with that, another very sad stat is that if you're black in America, the likelihood that you're going to work at a black-owned business, very small. It's statistically insignificant.
But why though?
Our companies aren't big enough. Like, we just don't have enough. We don't have enough companies that make enough money to hire enough people, and so our options are limited in terms of where you can go. Right? It's a numbers problem.
Man, my father gave me a statistic. It was about, as far as culturally, African Americans are at the bottom of the food chain when the dollar that's spent in their community.
Man, our dollar doesn't circulate not even one time. Most stats say 6 hours. So
now let's look at other cultures. You may look at the Mexican, Hispanic descent, a Caucasian, Asian Americans, Indians, Punjabis.
You start to see dollars in those communities circulate. Like everybody, it's like, hold on, I'm gonna be in business with you. You're gonna be in business with them. Like it just keeps.
It's a real thing. So I'll share this too. Being a broker, my vision or our vision, and I'm speaking for my partner as well, has always been to try to obtain a carrier by paying for it, right? Yeah. Almost like cheating the system, but it's legal, right?
Yeah, sure, yeah.
So it's like, why would we use our MC number, which is not active, but you have an MC number, you haven't really moved the capacity that we're moving, so let's partner.
Yes.
Right? So I can use your MC number and I can have your assets, trailers, warehouses, people, trucks, right?
People, all of it. Yeah.
All that. And we in essence start working together.
Yep.
We've had multiple meetings with Punjabis. And if you ask yourself, like, what is a Punjabi? It's like of Indian descent, right? Not Native American Indians, but Indians, right? Middle East? Yes. Right.
Same. Similar reach.
With that being said, every single time they come visit us or we go visit them, the first thing that they request is we have to go eat at an Indian restaurant.
Yeah.
And I'm like, bruh, this is wild. They don't even know each other though. You see what I'm saying? We had a meeting and then that person said the same thing, like, okay, where y'all want to eat? So, could you please find an Indian restaurant? Yeah. We met with another person. They came to Atlanta. Where do you want to eat? So, we want to eat at an Indian.
And it's not even just because of the food. It's like, it's about circulating the dollar. Like it's not even, food's cool, but like, I was in Dubai. I didn't know this until I was there. You can't start a business in Dubai unless a local starts the business with you.
What? That's a rule.
It is by law. You are not allowed to start a company. Like, we couldn't roll into Dubai right now and be like
let's go, let's gather a spot.
Nah, it would be like, who local is a part of the ownership structure that is going to bring this business with y'all?
Does it have to be of the descent, or does it have to be?
As I understand, it had to be somebody who has citizenship.
There. Okay.
In order to start the business, and like, folks hear that like, oh, that's unfair. But what was happening is saying, the dollars got to
realize there's a niche that
the dollars got to stay in the community. Right. Like, we're not about to just let this stuff can't just
you just can't come profit off of our property, off of our lifestyle, off of our real estate and not put us on.
Imagine if people on the west side or south side started saying the same thing. You can't build that here unless there's some local folks that are part of this. That does not happen right now. And because it doesn't happen, you look up in neighborhoods where nobody that lives in the neighborhood owns anything. Look at the west side of the city. To me, the fundamental issue is that barely anybody that lives there owns anything. And if you don't own, as you know, the land at a minimum, what do you have?
Correct.
So like, you can't, like, you can go to as many town meetings as you want to. At the end of the day, the landowners are going to make decisions about what they want to do with that land.
Fair or unfair?
And if you're not a part of the landowner group, you're just a person watching the conversation.
So is that the literacy? Is that mental literacy of understanding, like, okay, I need to become some type of owner. I need to own my property. But what do you say to the person that may not have the capital to do so? What the fuck are they supposed to do?
Black folks spend $1.6 trillion a year. So wealth gap exists, but we got to start talking about cooperative economics, about collaboration, and know that, like, there are gaps, but together we can fill a lot of the gaps. Like, I might not be able to buy a house, but we could buy a house. We could buy a house if we wanted to, right? And like, that's a lot of times easier said than done, right? But it's possible. People all the time will be like, we're gonna get that vacation home down there together. You put up a little bit, I put up a little bit. same thought process around our own neighborhoods. I can't get it solo. But you can.
Right.
Or we can.
Partner.
This season, I think for us collectively needs to be about partnership. I think if we go back and look at this time, what success would look like to me is wow, like we partnered. We saw some really dope collaborations between people that we didn't expect to see them from. And that is what made a difference. Like,